I live in my house, and I like my space, and I like to go to sleep when I want to go to sleep, and I like to turn on the television or read when I want to read. So if I ever got married again, he would have to live next door.
Carol Burnett has been making people laugh with her funny jokes and amazing skits for many years. However, now 92, even with her many smiles and important success, she still remembers one particular time she regrets being on set. One particular episode in 1977 had such a serious emotional effect on her that she never watched it again. She still feels sorry about it today. What made this scene so sad for a woman who is so brave on stage? Why does this one show still stay in her mind after all these years? Join us in this video as we discuss the details. The one episode from 1977, Carol Burnett still regrets. In 1977, Carol Burnett did a very serious and sad sketch on her show called The Gong Show. In this scene, she played her character named Eunice Higgins. Eunice was a woman who had many disappointments and heartbreaks in her life. In this special sketch, Eunice goes on a talent show because she really believes that singing her heart out might finally make her famous and loved. She thinks that maybe, just maybe, this is her big chance to shine and feel important. However, the judges start to laugh at her and make fun of her when she sings, instead of praising or supporting her. They see someone to make fun of, not her dream. She then failed in front of everyone when they hit the gong to stop her. It was an extremely cruel and harsh moment. Carol played it so convincingly that it seemed real. You could sense the depth of her hurt and see the anguish in her eyes. Carol claimed she would never be able to watch it again after completing that sketch. Never for once did she want to see it. She said that because it brought to mind her sufferings and the hard times she went through as a child, it was too real for her. Carol knew what it was like to have big dreams and to be laughed at or pushed away. That is why the sketch hit her so hard in her heart. Even though the audience and critics called the sketch brilliant and powerful, it was too painful for Carol. She didn't want to relive those feelings. This one episode was so strong that it led to a TV movie called Eunice and later a spin-off sitcom called Mama's Family. However, Carol later left that show because she did not agree with the way it was going. She wanted it to be true to the story, but it changed too much for her. What kind of battles was Carol fighting when the cameras stopped rolling and the stage lights went out? Stay tuned for more. The untold battles beyond the stage. Besides her work life, Carol's personal life was also hard and full of struggles. Carol married Don Saroyan in 1955. At first, they loved each other very much and had big dreams together. But as time went on, things started to fall apart. They separated on Christmas Day in 1959, which was supposed to be a happy time, but for them, it was a very sad and painful moment. They officially got divorced in 1962. Don had a very sad life after that. His daughter from another relationship died, which broke him. He was never able to succeed in his acting career like he had hoped. He started to feel very down and turned to drinking. Alcohol took over his life, and he became very unhappy and lost. In 1990, he died at the age of 62. Carol and Don had shared dreams once, but they both went down very different paths. After her first marriage ended, Carol met Joe Hamilton. Joe was a well-known TV producer who had already been married before and had 8 children from that first marriage. Carol and Joe got married in 1963. Together, they had 3 daughters, which made their family even bigger and very lively. Sadly, Carol also had a miscarriage in 1965, which brought her deep sadness. Their house was always full of people, kids running around, noise and activity. It was never quiet. Joe was very successful in his career and won 5 Emmy Awards as a producer. In 1976, Carol faced a big fight to protect her name. A gossip magazine called the National Enquirer wrote a false story saying that Carol was drunk at a restaurant. This really hurt Carol because she had always spoken out against drinking problems since her own parents had suffered from alcoholism. She had tried to be a voice against alcohol misuse for many years. She felt betrayed and deeply upset. Carol decided to take the magazine to court because she wanted to clear her name. It was not about money for her. It was about telling the truth and protecting her honor. In the end, she won the case. Even though the original award was for $1.6 million, after many appeals, the final amount she got was around $200,000. But for Carol, the most important thing was showing people that she was telling the truth and that lies should not win. But the biggest and hardest fight in her personal life was with her daughter, Carrie's addiction. Carrie started using substance at the very young age of 13. She used substances, pills, and other dangerous things. Carrie felt a lot of pressure because she was Carol Burnett's daughter. She wanted to escape from that big shadow and just feel like her own person, not just Carol's daughter. From 1976 to 1999, Carol did everything she could to help Carrie. She sent her to different rehab centers to try to save her. Each time, she hoped that maybe this time would work. But it was very hard. At one point, Carrie even ran away from a rehab center in Texas. Carol was so scared. She thought she might lose her daughter forever. Carol fought with all her strength to bring Carrie back and help her find a better life. Carol Burnett's life shows us that even people who make us laugh the most can have deep pain and big struggles behind the scenes. She fought many battles, both on stage and at home, and her story is one of strength and love, even in the hardest times. How did Carol Burnett's close friendships and difficult conflicts with her co-stars shape the energy and success of her legendary show? Let's find out. Carol Burnett's on-set conflicts and bonds with her co-stars. The Carol Burnett Show, a variety show that ran from 1967 to 1978 and took home 25 Emmy Awards, helped make Carol Burnett famous. She also showed her amazing timing in comedy films like Annie, in which she acted as Miss Hannigan, and Noises Off. Despite working with a lot of celebrities, not all of her relationships were easy. One unexpected disagreement was with her show's main cast member, Harvey Korman. Carol was raised by her grandmother in San Antonio, Texas, where she was born. Later, in order to follow her Broadway dreams, she relocated to New York City. She eventually landed a spot on The Gary Moore Show, which allowed her to show her comedic talent and prepared her for her own program. Her show ran over a decade and earned many Emmy Awards. During this time, she worked closely with Harvey Korman. Their relationship, however, had issues. In her 2016 memoir, In Such Good Company, 11 Years of Laughter, Mayhem, and Fun in the Sandbox, Burnett shared details of a serious conflict. This happened during the show's 7th season, in an episode featuring guests Tim Conway and Petula Clark, both known for being kind and professional. On that day, Korman was in a bad mood and acted rudely, even to the guests. When Burnett confronted him in his dressing room about his behavior, Korman told her to mind her own business. She responded that it was indeed her business, since it affected the entire show. Korman then said he would rather leave the show entirely. After this heated argument, Burnett acted quickly. She called Korman's agent and said he was fired from the show. Then she told Korman directly that he was free to leave because of his poor behavior. Korman shocked everyone by apologizing and asking what he could do to fix things. Burnett agreed to give him another chance, but only if he promised to be joyful and respectful to everyone. Korman agreed and did follow her terms. Eventually, they repaired their relationship, and Korman came to respect her more because she stood up for herself and the show. Meanwhile, Burnett also had a special relationship with Vicky Lawrence, who joined The Carol Burnett Show as a young actress. Unlike her experience with Korman, Burnett's bond with Lawrence was friendly and smooth. The two looked so much alike that many thought they might be related. They shared similar interests and tastes and were both more comfortable around men than other women. Lawrence made it clear that she saw Burnett as a friend, not a sister. But their strong relationship wasn't always without challenges. At one point, Lawrence felt she wasn't paid fairly compared to male co-star Lyle Waggoner. When she asked for equal pay, the producer refused, saying Waggoner had a family to support. Lawrence, reflecting the gender pay gap of the time, accepted the decision despite his disappointment. Their relationship started when Lawrence's mother urged her to write Burnett a letter of admiration. Despite CBS executives' reluctance because of Lawrence's inexperience, Carol decided to take a chance on him because she was searching for someone to play her younger sister on the show. Burnett fought for her, calling her a diamond in the rough. After The Carol Burnett Show ended, both Korman and Lawrence went on different paths. Korman took roles in movies like Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles, where he played Hedley Lamar. He also made guest appearances on various TV shows and even had his own short-lived comedy series. Though he took on many roles after the show, fans always remembered him for his work with Carol. Korman died in 2008, but his influence on comedy continued. Vicky Lawrence, on the other hand, found great success with her character Mama. This character led to a spin-off show, Mama's Family, which aired from 1983 to 1990. Mama became a fan favorite, beloved by both old and new audiences. Lawrence also tried her hand at music and scored a hit with The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. More recently, Lawrence has toured the country with her one-woman show, bringing audiences joy with her stories and quick costume changes into the Mama character. Lawrence looked into a number of entertainment options, but Korman decided to stick to his acting career. Both had a profound effect on comedy fans and the industry. After The Carol Burnett Show, their careers took different turns, but their skills were still linked to their time on that illustrious stage. The actors were able to leave their own rare beliefs, whether it is Korman's characters or Lawrence's role as Mama that people remember. They made their status as comedy icons strong by carrying on making fans happy with the abilities and skills they got from working with Burnett. These diverse interactions and relationships make it clear that while The Carol Burnett Show offered viewers endless hours of entertainment, there were also conflicts and opportunities for development behind the scenes. Burnett handled the difficulties with firmness and kindness, ensuring that her team remained courteous and professional, which contributed to preserving the happy atmosphere that fans adored. Have you ever questioned whether Harvey Korman enjoyed his work on The Carol Burnett Show as much as the viewers did? Let's delve deeper. The unexpected struggles behind the laughter. Harvey Korman was a famous actor and comedian who became very popular in the 60s and 70s. Many people know him from The Carol Burnett Show, where he showed off his funny timing and skill at making up jokes on the spot. Even though many fans think he loved being on the show, Harvey actually did not always have a great time. Harvey Herschel Korman was born on February 15, 1927, in Chicago, Illinois. He grew up in a Jewish family and went to Hebrew school as a kid. He loved performing and making people laugh from a young age. Harvey took part in plays at his school and local shows. After finishing school, he went to Goodman Theater School in Chicago. Later, he joined a traveling theater group. After that, he moved to New York City, where he acted on Broadway and got a role in the 1958 musical Bells Are Ringing. At first, Harvey worked in small shows and off-Broadway acts. Then, he got a job on The Danny Kaye Show. He got his big chance thanks to this role. Harvey was chosen to appear regularly on The Carol Burnett Show in 1967. This comedy series ran for 11 seasons after becoming a huge hit. Carol Burnett and Harvey got along well. Their jokes always made each other laugh. Harvey acted as a lot of characters on the show. He joined up with Vicky Lawrence, Tim Conway, and Carol Burnett. Regardless of his serious fame, Harvey had his share of hard times. Carol Burnett enjoyed pulling jokes on him, which sometimes made him feel guilty. One big event was when Carol fired Harvey. During a funny scene where Harvey played a dentist trying to pull Carol's tooth, he accidentally knocked out one of her false teeth. Carol burst out laughing and was unable to stop. Although the fans enjoyed this humorous moment, Carol became irate and temporarily fired Harvey. He returned later, but for a while he played a smaller part. Harvey remained a fan favorite despite this issue, and he eventually got his own show. Harvey's other comedic skits were also well known. In one famous sketch, The Oldest Man, he played an elderly man who was always in trouble and was lethargic and forgetful. In one scene, he was stuck in a bank vault and tried ridiculous ways to get out, like talking to the money or using a drill. Another fun sketch was The Family, in which Harvey played a father trying to keep his family in line. Harvey portrayed a nervous politician in the sketch The Politician, who was attempting to deliver a speech while the microphone kept breaking. His reactions of fear and anger were amusing. Harvey had a unique sense of humor. Instead of using big, crazy moves, he made use of clever words, funny faces, and careful timing. He was excellent at inventing jokes and modifying his lines to add humor to situations. In 1977, Harvey got his own show, The Harvey Korman Show, after leaving The Carol Burnett Show. It concerned a writer's attempt to strike a balance between work and family. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. After just 6 episodes, it was canceled due to negative reviews. Some people think leaving Carol's show hurt his new show's success. Harvey had a close friendship with Tim Conway. They worked so well together that their scenes were always funny. Even after The Carol Burnett Show, they stayed good friends and worked together on TV specials and live shows. There is a funny story where Tim dressed as a giant elephant, and Harvey had to say serious lines. Tim kept making new jokes, and Harvey kept laughing so hard he could not finish his lines. Besides TV, Harvey acted in movies too. He was in many Mel Brooks films like Blazing Saddles and High Anxiety. Once, during Blazing Saddles, Harvey got so mad at his co-star Cleavon Little for making up jokes that he almost quit. But Mel Brooks calmed him down and made him stay. Harvey won many awards, including 4 Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe. He was put into the Television Hall of Fame in 2002. Harvey died on May 29, 2008, at age 81. How did Carol Burnett's humor and spirit continue to shine through in her more recent projects and personal stories? Let's learn more. Carol Burnett talks birthdays and her role on Palm Royale. Carol Burnett, a famous actress with many Emmy Awards and a Presidential Medal of Freedom, was a guest on a show where she talked about her work and shared funny stories from her life. The host introduced her as a true American legend and mentioned her new role in Palm Royale on Apple TV+, where she plays Norma Delacorte. At the start, the host praised her performance at the Oscars. Carol thanked him and joked that it meant more coming from him than from a certain former president. They also talked about her birthday. Last year, she had a big 90th birthday party on TV, but this year, she wanted a small dinner with friends. The host joked about throwing her a wild party next year, and she laughed along. The host asked her about the best birthday gift she ever got. At first, she didn't have an answer, but then they surprised her with a video message from Bradley Cooper. He wished her a happy birthday and said he hoped to work with her one day. Carol was so happy and joked that it was a step in that direction. They talked about awards too. Carol said her first award was for Most Outstanding Newcomer at UCLA, and she still keeps that plaque. She shared a story from her teenage years working as an usher at a movie theater. She stopped a couple from going in during the last minutes of a Hitchcock film and got fired on the spot. Later, she even got that theater door and a poster signed by Hitchcock saying, "I'm sorry about your job." Carol also talked about working on Palm Royale. She joked about her character being in a coma for most of the show, so she just laid in bed on set. She loved working with Kristen Wiig, Allison Janney, and Ricky Martin, who she said was very funny and serious about his work. The host praised her and joked she should run for president, but she said no. The segment ended warmly, with Carol saying she loved the host too. What do you think about the legacy of Carol Burnett? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.